Namaste to all yogis. Welcome back to your YouTube channel Prashant Jay Yoga. Today we have Shivam. He will be demonstrating one of the asana and one confusion we will be giving clarification to it, which is downward facing dog and Parvatasana. So there's a difference between downward facing dog, which is called Adho Mukha Swanasana, and Parvatasana. And both asana I will explain you in detail. Shivam will demonstrate. You can zoom the video, understand all the steps before you apply. And once you understood, try right with us. It will help you to experience this particular pose so you can get the proper benefit. Let's start this. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe this so you can get such kind of informative yogic videos on a regular basis. And you will learn a lot which can help you to live very healthy life. Let's begin the practice. So, see, you need to understand one thing. Downwards facing dog, which is called Adho Mukha Swanasana, and Parvatasana, both having different objective, different goal. It may look similar because the frame of this pose similar, but inner work is completely different. One is very active pose and spinal extension asana. Another is passive, which is strengthening and resting pose. Parvatasana, strengthening, resting pose. You are not doing muscular effort there. Weight is only on the bones. So if you are working for bone strength, this Parvatasana can be helpful, arm strengthening or leg strengthening. But if it comes to muscular strength, if it comes to spinal extension and you really want to improve the blood circulation, you really want to improve the flow of the blood in the spinal column, then downward facing dog is for that. These are the basic difference. Downward facing dog, legs are separate. Why legs are separate? Because here you are trying to open the spine. Parvatasana, legs will be together, this. Because legs are together, you don't have enough space in the pelvic region, so you cannot extend. Therefore, it is necessary to keep this asana, Parvatasana, very passive, just rest. And because legs are separate in Adho Mukha Swanasana, you can really extend the spine and go deeper in the spinal work. We will show you here with the proper demonstration. You look, understand, and then you will perform. Let's try. For that, see, the entering will remain same. For example, if I am doing Parvatasana, see how the Shivam will show you. Knees are together, you first come to Vajrasana. This is a centering pose. Vajrasana is a centering pose for both of the asana. Second, take one inhale, you raise your arms up and see. When you raise the arm, you extend the side body. Come and see closer. You extend the side body, which will help you to open the chest from here, and breathing will be clear. Many of us, because when we do some action, focus on efforts, physical, muscular efforts, we forget the respiratory process. And it is very necessary for you from the beginning, take this habit that always focus on respiration, which will really help you to keep the efforts passive. You will not get tired. So when you raise the arm, expand the chest from the sideways. From there, take one exhalation, but by pressing the buttocks, see here. When you press the buttock, you give the base, you shift the weight from knees to the buttock. You give and press this area, and while pressing this area, you exhale, go forward like this. But one thing you can do mistake here. When you go forward, you may lift your buttock up like this. Try as much as possible to keep it pressed. Because when the buttocks are pressed, your spine has a base. And when the spine has a base, you really have each vertebrae are aligned with that. And you can really extend the spine before you come to the inversion pose, because downward facing dog and Parvatasana both are inversion pose, where the gravity is giving pressure to the each vertebrae. To release this pressure, we are trying to extend from the beginning. So this is, spread the fingers, open each fingers nicely, press the palm, and which is mount of the palm. You press mount of the palm. Don't take the weight to the fingers here. Take the weight from the center. And if it is possible for you, take most of the weight. When you are in this position, take most of the weight only in the center. Neither on your fingers nor edge of the wrist. Center only. It's a cushion. When you press this, one thing I want you to do is, you keep the thumb facing to each other like this. See here, to me. Thumb facing to each other. This you can do. Why? Because when you keep thumb facing each other, you have more space here. And this is the most cushion area of your palm. So weight will shift here later. It should not move outside, it should not move there, it should not move to the finger. Mostly this half. So you press this. Now with inhalation, you lift the buttock up slowly. Don't change the distance. You tuck your toes, nicely flex the ankle, knees are together, foot together. You take inhale again and go up to the mountain pose. This. And you press the heels down if you can. If not, no problem. But keep the legs together, head will be down, and you are watching your navel in mountain pose, Parvat Asana. Can you see that here? The shape of the body is like a parvat. One thing, when you are in this asana, understand, the buttock area, this area, need to be rolled downward direction. Downward facing dog, it will go upward direction. This is one of the difference also. Parvatasana, your spine is mostly relaxing. So sometimes you can maybe see the curve in the spine in somebody, maybe somebody you are not, you see the flat back. Doesn't matter. Spine, as long as the spine is relaxed, this asana is comfortable. The weight comes mostly on the arms, legs are just working as a support, spine is resting, no extension, nothing you are doing, and hips are rolled downward, tucked downward. If you want to do downward facing dog, then everything will change, because downward facing dog, you are extending, you're trying to make the length. In this pose, body weight is there, so it means the pressure is coming to the spinal column. And in downward facing dog, you are releasing and going opposite direction. So the pressure is released and the extension goes up. See here again, from the beginning we will show you, see how to do downward facing dog. So to do downward facing dog, one thing only you will change. Toes will remain same, knees are separate now. See here. So knees are separate like this. Wider, you can open the knee till the edge of your mat. And now inhale, process is same. Raise the arms first. Extend nicely, open the chest, breathe deeper, and after that you press the buttock and go forward. Now you have a proper gap for your spine to lean down between the thighs. Do the same. You extend the spine, give the good direction to the body, spread the fingers, place keeping the thumb facing each other, press the buttock. Now take one deep inhale, you slowly raise the hips and go to the final pose with separate leg, separate knee. Legs will be separate, hips will apart. So see here, now this curve which was in mountain pose, this curve we will release. And how we will do this? Understand and do. See, in Parvatasana I told you weight will shift to the arms, but downward facing dog weight will shift to the legs. So the first action what you will do, you shift the weight to the legs. How? Engage your thigh here, this thighs, but don't pull the kneecap up, okay? Start contraction from the head of the femur. You contract the muscle here, activate the thighs and start opening the back knee so that you press the heels. Legs taking most of the weight. This is first action. Second action, the tailbone which is rolled down, you tilt this upward direction. So the tailbone which was before downward, now you release and move it upward. This is second action. You start adjusting from the back. Third action, when the tailbone is higher, lift this middle spine a little up. Yes, here, stop, little bit. And now don't change anything in the spine. You just start shifting the weight more on the leg and lifting, elevating the hips higher, 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 like this. And then head will remain same. This. And keep pulling yourself. With your palm, you push yourself higher and higher by engaging the thigh to give you proper base. This is how all the time in downward facing you do. You are trying to switch the weight to the legs. Parvatasana, you are not trying to switch the weight. Downward facing dog, you are trying to extend the spine in each vertebrae by tilting the buttocks up. Parvatasana, you are not doing this thing. And after staying for at least 3 minutes each pose, now you will relax in Balasana, which is child pose again. Exhale, knees can be together, can be separate, and forehead down, and you are resting. So that was the demonstration of downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana and Parvatasana. If you like the video, please share and help others. And if you have any question, you can write us in comment, where we will try to see and try to give you answer right away, which can help you in your practice. So these two asana, practice every day. These are semi-inversion poses. But one semi-inversion where you are doing downward facing dog, this is separate leg. Where you are really increasing the flow of your prana, flow of your blood in the spinal column. In Parvatasana, you don't do this. It's a resting pose. In inversion, it's a resting pose. These are the basic difference. Also, you can add in your knowledge. Those who are watching me and asking for a Hindi translation, you can subscribe Shivam YouTube video, which is Traditional Yoga with Shivam. I will put the link in description. You can learn from us. Those who are in Hindi, they can learn from him. Those who, you can switch and you can understand what we are sharing. Take care, stay safe. I will see you in next video. Till that, namaste.